Welcome to other of the Sofia Dalponte sessions, especially for you. Okay. So we are now going to deep dive into quantitative methods and more specifically surveys. So our first lab for today would be creating our first online survey. Our learning goals are understanding some difference between very precise methods, like what's an intercept survey, what's an email survey, and different ways of ways to performing this. Understanding the difference between market research surveys and user research and user surveys. Understand when to conduct a survey and which one to choose depending on the moments and the purpose of that research. And in the applying, we are going to use a canvas to design a good survey, like understand what should be the sequence of those questions and which questions can be more effective than others. So first we are going to start with a game because we know like this is design thinking, crazy. So let's go to the next slide. Yeah, so our dear TA just prepared some cara se chama?
Acho que não é cara a cara, é tipo que você cola um negócio na testa e você faz perguntas tentando descobrir o que você é.
Você mais ou menos igual no tabuleiro. Tem um joguinho que cada um fica com.
Pode ser. Tipo, eu sou uma coisa, eu sou uma pessoa. Aí você vai fazendo perguntas para tentar descobrir que carta você vai.
Só pode fazer perguntas assim.
Só pode fazer perguntas sim ou não. Sim. Porque você é como o objetivo que você haga as perguntas corretas para adivinhar o que é a coisa. Então são coisas, personagens,
comida,
tudo. É também em português.
Português.
Então, you'll take the cards one by one and please don't look at your own card. You have to unstick it and stick it to your forehead, and you'll be taking turns into which one is exactly. So, just to clarify, the person asking the questions is the one that doesn't know what the card says. Right? So don't cheat, group up, look to each other, and
Everybody?
no, it's in groups, right? Groups of three. So
Everybody needs. Todo mundo tem que ter a carta na
Exato.
Peraí que acho que eu vi.
Ah, não está escrito aí.
no. So Annabelle has to guess.
Não sei.
You have to guess your own.
Mas todo mundo fica com a carta.
Eu vi que você fez.
Ok, começo.
Calma.
No, primeiro.
Não, faz a primeira. Ok.
Tá, você vai falar.
Qual cor eu sou?
Tá, começa.
Eu sou. Ok. Só pra.
Todo mundo gosta, mas não é o favorito de quase ninguém.
Also, you're Greek and very old.
É porque agora que você quer uma parte do tempo.
É o mais
Mais conhecido.
ou com refri. Quando você fala filósofo, qual que é o primeiro que vem na cabeça? You're in quiz.
Ainda bem que a aula tá uma aula.
So can you answer this question? Just one more question. What did you put in practice? What were we doing? What do you think we plan for this activity in this session?
Inferir coisas.
Entender voices?
Reference.
Inferir.
Inferir.
Infer, references,
Infer, yes.
pesquisar, research. Yeah. Also, like knowing what questions to make first.
Yeah, so we can eliminate a bunch of
Like, yeah, like when you were saying, like, am I like a person? No. Okay. Am I like an object? No. Am I like a feeling? No. You never mentioned animals. Yeah, a funnel, right? Like we want to eliminate some categories, and in that way we can infer more information. So this is exactly what we're going to put in practice in our research, in our user research. So, you know, like as human beings living in this world, we already have some of it. We have some observation skills, active listening, yeah? Do you know what active listening may mean? Like, imagine you have your TV in your dining room and then you're cooking. Is that active listening? No.
Focus, pay attention.
Like trying to get the hints and paying a lot of attention so you can win the game. Collaborative work, yeah, we gave some hints, even for the one that got pizza. And, well, empathy, right? And trying to put yourself in the shoes of the other and just make it fun and enjoy the activity. So, also, we are trying to apply gamification in our classes because this is 8 hours in class, and if we don't put that in practice, it can get like really hard. So quickly, we are going to cover qualitative versus quantitative, and I think you already have some information on this. So I'll make you read the slides and tell me what is happening here. What does it mean? So this is an approach that goes from a very specific, from knowing the specifics of a problem towards driving for the general trends and more growth. So, what are the qualitative methods again? Interviewing, right? What's the quality that they have? Like, what's their specialty? They're more open-ended. And the feelings. So we can perform that 5 why protocol, that what, how, why protocol. We'll see more of what. What's attitudinal again?
That you ask people how they think about it. Instead
Uh-huh.
of watch how they behave.
Yeah, this is watching behaviors, yeah? But when you ask, you can learn about what they say, what they hear, what they feel. We can ask about their motivations and their needs and their problems. And it's very good if we have access to a small group of people. So in the first day, we reviewed the Google Sprint, and we learned that we just interviewed 5 persons, or just testing with 5, that's quantitative, we can more or less see those trends, yeah? So the other approach, and I told you, like, this is not like how to conduct research, you have to make sense of it. So there's the other approach, which is like exactly the opposite. And it's also correct, that is brought to a specific. So first, and it is what we're going to do today. I just want you to know that you could also start with interviews. There's no problem. You'll have 1 week in the middle to perform this research, and you'll be at the same time reading your survey results and performing and planning those interviews. Yeah. So director specific is for discovery. So we're going to launch a survey asking people when they grocery shop, where they grocery shop, with like which device they use for grocery shopping. All of those kind of questions that you're going to define using a canvas. Why do you think it's a good idea to first perform a survey and then perform interviews? Is it at all a good idea? A pregunta es, why is it a good idea to first launch a survey and then perform the interviews? Would we approach growth to specific?
To get a direction from the quantitative survey.
It gives me some directions, right? It will point out, okay, so everybody is using apps, right? And everybody's conversation in the network. Okay, maybe in my interviews, that I will devote like more time and I will have this more in-depth conversations with people. I want to ask about that and not something else. What was your alternative?
And be more object.
Objetivo, yeah, objective, yeah, exactly. Because I draw the numbers and I know the percentages and the indexes and how many people more or less are feeling something, I can make more relevant questions for my research. And it's because an interview, even if it's open-ended, you want to keep it short and you want to keep it actionable. Because there are just only so many things that you can really address, right? So, next please. So, every approach will have pros and cons. This is about just qualitative methods and quantitative methods, sorry. So, the cons is that it's hard to get very rich responses, even if there are some kinds of surveys that will have like a chatbot, okay, if the user answers yes, then I will ask this follow-up question, and if the user answers no, I will ask this follow-up question. You can do that, but a survey is always very closed, let's say. You can have just a very limited amount of information. And often we'll get some insight, some source of insight, like, do you shop in the morning or the afternoon? Not applicable. Well, morning, afternoon, not applicable. And I'm like, what happened there? What's that response? I would like to know more, but I already launched my survey. Or if you commit like a mistake in designing your survey, and then you launch it, and then like you already have like 100 responses, and you guess that it wasn't the wisest question to ask. So those happen. That's why we are going to use an instrument to plan for the survey. And the good thing about surveys is that we can address many people at the same time. So it's very scalable, right? So I'll launch my Survey Monkey, and everybody in the UX surveys group will answer directly. And that's great because I didn't have to use my time to interview 30 people. And at the same time, the other good thing is that after I get the responses, I can review the results. And it will, like for example, Google Forms will make pie charts for you. So it's like the insight is really like very fast to get because it's visualized, or I can have an index, a percentage. So as humans, we are used to using this kind of data, which is statistics, right? So, can you answer this question? Why you want to use service for behavioral? We mentioned that before. What's behavioral data? Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, like how people act, right? So you want to observe them. And why, like,
Sometimes what they say is not what they do.
exactly. So that's the whole question. Yeah, and users like omit steps in the middle, and the memories are, we make them prettier. Like, are you in a bad mood when you have to arrive to the airport? And I would think, no. Oh no, I always take so much time, and therefore I arrive with my suitcase and everything is perfect because I have my application and I can see everything. Not true. I am a very person until the moment I'm in my gate. So I'm that person. Sorry. So I'm the person asking questions at every point. I'm the person that is in a hurry, even if I have 3 hours. It's irrational. And if I would explain it to someone, nobody is honest even now, and then I would like erase the ugly stuff. Yeah, so why should we use service? Add many programs of our design thinking process. So you'll be receiving surveys over here in Ironhack. And actually our bootcamp is just already running. This is not exploratory generative research. So we want to know if we actually built the right product. And we're going to be asking, hey, how was your teacher this week? Any good? And you'll be able to rank from 1 to 10. How is your experience in this platform? So we are assessing a product that is already in the market because we are always iterating on it. We want to validate a problem, or we want to validate some hypotheses. Yeah, so before even developing the product, let's say that is fairly expensive, we want to make sure that we are building the right thing. So to validate the problem and using our double diamonds, when would you set that survey to validate the problem?
Start. For you.
In the start? Yeah, that's generative research. Yeah, like getting to know what's the problem. But we talked about definition, and we talked about like this central point, the MVP definition. And the question is like, are we building the right product? We guess that yes, because we did all the steps. But here's when we validate. Is the testing of the research. More. So you'll see how we use it in many steps. And also the people that would go outside in the streets and say, dude, you absolutely have to take the Ironhack bootcamp. Like, it completely changed my life. Now I can see how I have a fit in the job market in Sao Paulo. And that's the only good thing that, like, for a product, you want that kind of success. You don't want a, well, man, yeah, it is okay. That's not a promoter. Yeah? Is it making sense? Okay, we can, it helps determine value proposition. So remember, Lean is everything about delivering value for the user. That's the only thing we can. Juli, next, please. Well, this is just a sample of what kind of questions you can ask in a survey. There are many different kinds of questions. I'll leave you time from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. more or less to start like iterating on questions. And you are able to go back to the slides and to review this in more depth. Next, please. So, have you ever seen something like this? Where would you find this?
Cashier.
In a cashier. Okay. And why do you think they place it there?
Avaliar o atendimento.
Como?
Avaliar o atendimento.
Yeah, validating your atendimento service. Customer service, atendimento. Atenção.
Because just after the time that you pass through the experience.
Yeah, but right after, right?
Yeah.
This is catching the users in the spot. Have you ever received something like this in an app? How was your call with WhatsApp? How was your Google Hangouts? Yeah, they are using stars. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's a more or less is this because they are using 5 stars. In here we have like 5 smileys. And have you ever seen something without the like just with 4 options and without the neutral face? Not that you remember? Well, that's a good practice, actually. That's a good practice for rankings and like satisfaction. Because actually, like, we don't want to get no neutral faces. And people sometimes, they don't want to take a position, they don't want to be mean, they don't want to give negative feedback, but they do receive a very good attention. Atendimento é attention. That's it. Yeah. Sometimes UX researchers will take out the neutral, so you actually get trends. You get good or bad, but not neutral. Neutral is not actionable. Yeah. Could you please? So we have to be very careful about really conducting. So we are the users' advocates. We are the people that are fighting for the quality of the product. And we are informing business teams on what product to do. So there will be some budgets and there will be some work to be done towards market research, market feeds, and for example, knowing in which country to launch first, knowing which audiences to target, what are general like opportunities in the market. And this is just to define, hey, like we are doing this project. Like for example, in Ironhack, we just launched our data bootcamp. So that was like it's an opportunity that is there now. And 6 years ago, when we started with just one product, web development. So our business team and the marketing were collaborating and just knowing which is the next product that we can launch that would be as successful as our UX and web courses, right? But for example, like myself, I'm in the product side. So I know that probably people would like to buy our UX UI course. I already know that. I'm already an employee. And it's my mission to know what kind of a bootcamp is the best bootcamp that I can give you to fulfill our mission. And that's the objective. So, are my students sleeping in class? Yeah, yesterday maybe. What can I do to design classes that are more entertaining? Well, I'm gamifying a little bit. How are my projects? Do we really have activities to put in practice active learning? Sometimes we are beta testing things. Like for example, here in Sao Paulo, we agreed that one of the groups is going to use another tool, Figma. This is the first time we do it. So we are testing like in a laboratory. We want to know how it goes, and we'll document that. And if it's a good idea, we will roll that out. We'll say, hey, this is a good practice. Like for American markets, probably best practice is don't ask for market, it's not necessary. Yeah, making sense of how it works? Okay, wait, continue. Well, surveys is a method, and it has a lot of like particular ways to put it in practice. So, in which annoying situation would you receive a survey by telephone? Have you ever? Juli?
Maybe after talking to your internet
Provider.
or telephone, like Net, Vivo,
Yeah.
they usually say, oh, can you keep after we hang up because there will be a survey for you to tell us how was it.
How was the attention? Has the girl or the boy ever said 9 is the only good option or 10 is the only good option? No? Oh, they do that. Well, because they are using NPS. So they want you to know that the only good rating for them to keep their job is a 9 or a 10. And sometimes they are biasing you, but also like, you don't want, it's a call center, right? You know how these people are working. So you don't want to give them a 7 because that may mean that they lose their job. I also received telephone surveys when there are elections for president and this kind of things. And so usually they are using numbers, of course, because our phones have a keyboard with numbers. So, by mail, I haven't received any. Have you?
Yeah.
Yes? In which situation?
After, let's say,
See,
I don't know.
order, purchase,
Yeah, when it arrived with
mail.
the product. After home shopping.
Makes
Yeah.
sense. And how do they collect the results, anyways?
I think you need to send back.
Send back. That's not very practical. Is it paid for? But do they say in the beginning of the paper, you have to make this back and the cost is covered, or do they send the stamp?
Cobra pra você.
Cobram para você enviar uma
De volta?
Não, eu acho que eles informam no produto, mas a pesquisa eles têm que mandar online. Tipo,
online.
Tipo, ele te manda
né?
te mandou um link.
Você acha uma experiência, conte pra gente, e aí você
acessa
isso.
o URL.
What do you think about this?
Not very much.
Not very practical, right? If people tend not to answer your survey, imagine that you have to like fill in your paper, go online, mail it, pay for it, like not gonna happen. Okay. Online, ever completed an online survey?
All the time.
All the time. We use them here even for organizing a barbecue that is going to happen soon. Maybe Friday, maybe, I don't know. Personal in-home surveys. Have you ever been in the Brazil population census? What do you call census? Census. Yeah, it's when a government every 10 years wants to know how many people live here and how do they live and who they are. Yeah? So this is a survey. It takes a lot of time to design. And the way we perform it is we go to people's houses. You have to stay one day in your house. Someone will knock the door and we'll start asking questions. Personal moral history. Okay, for example, I was working in museums, in museum studies, and I would sit with a little desk outside of the exhibitions, and I would have my surveys and a basket of biscuits and some juice. And that's where I gained my facilitation. And I'm like, would you have some 5 minutes to answer my survey? Okay, like did you like the exhibition? Yes. And I was asking like more or less like 5 to 10 questions about the exhibit. And this really is good for designing better experiences. And well, hybrids of the other. So many possibilities. Let's go ahead. Yeah. What challenges does self-reported data represent? Okay. Can you see any problem in sending a survey in some way, like by telephone, by mail, by email, and having people write down their own responses? Can you see any foresee any problems?
You don't get the non-verbal part of the thing. Like when you ask a question, there's a verbal part, there's a non-verbal part.
Ah, okay, I see you. Andres is talking about body language and expressions that you miss because you can see the people's faces when they read the question and when they answer.
And also, I think we are shorter when we are writing.
We are lazy, we don't want to write down, so they just like comment and you're like, everything is okay. Maybe everything is not okay. Another kind of problem, specifically not so much in email, but when you get a sheet of paper.
Who gives social acceptable answers?
Sure?
Social acceptable?
Ah, you want to be like politically correct and socially acceptable, yes. Any problem with the format?
If the question is not clear, you can have different answers for the same question.
Yeah, if the question is not well phrased, then it can be very ambiguous, right? And so I don't know what to answer. I would click something, yeah?
And also the space.
Huh?
The small space.
If it's printed and you have an input field, then maybe I have someone that wants to write it.
Yeah.
No, so
Quantificar.
quantificar, yeah.
Depois a pesquisa também papel, a gente
Yeah, so there are software, there are machines, and there's also intelligent people that will help us. But of course, building a matrix and tracing the patterns and the trends is very difficult. Do you remember that example that we saw of bad UX? And the example was your user is drunk. So the question was, are you drunk? Yes or no? What happened in that example?
Yes, on the slide.
Yeah, the person was in fact drunk, so they were like, oh. And yeah, maybe it's like we have an answer, but just they didn't place it in the correct, so it's not an answer. Or you know when you're doing this English test, TOEFL, or that you have to like make the answers with a little circle, and you have to really paint it black because the machine will read it, and you want to really print it black because it's your $300 test you paid. And yeah, so that's also like one problem that may happen. Like the format is not. This doesn't happen so much in online. Okay. Yeah, obvious responses. You can go deeper and want to go deeper. Kaiser. Okay, intercept survey. I hate them, but well, they're very efficient. So UX designers all over the world are trying to improve their services and their products. So they see you're a regular New York Times reader, and so you're scrolling your free version, and all of a sudden you get like a model window saying, hey, we love your feedback. We love you. We're here with you. Please do answer our survey. And you're like, no, dude, I just want to read the article. But well, sometimes we are good people and we want to give feedback. Generally, when I do give feedback in this intercept, I tend to give bad feedback. Because I'm pissed off already because they interrupted my action. So I said, the hell. So users are mean all the time. But this is something you may want to do. I think it's better targeted to more advanced users, more regular users that actually care about you making a better product for them. Yeah, let's continue. Okay, treated studies. So, UserZoom is a very well-known platform for research. It's a very good product. So, it is a survey that basically wants to go deeper and deeper and deeper into the reasons why people are behaving or are using a product in a certain way. And that's why the example is UserZoom because they are very good. So, the question here, let me read it. We believe your online experiences really matter. Would you help us improve the website by completing the survey? Yes. Okay, the survey is not here, so. But basically, they will be very specific. Email surveys. So maybe after you buy something online and you get it delivered, you may have. So what is this? From what we talked in this lesson? Do you remember the acronym? 3 letters. How likely would you be to recommend our products to a friend or colleague? What's this? It's an acronym of 3 words, 3 letters. Net Promoter Score. You will see NPS in a lot of places, so open your eyes. Likert scale is also used in those smileys that we see after the measure. That's Likert scale. And yeah, it's for many reasons. You can assess usability of a website using Likert scale. Continue. How to build a survey. Let's go. So this is something like Annabelle already mentioned one. We'll see. So one important thing to remember: avoid double-barreled questions. Double-barreled is when I basically make 2 questions in one. So, do you like the color and taste of your macaroni? Well, I like the color, but I don't like the taste. It's like I can't answer your question. So, would you be interested in a website that streams movies and what would you pay to use it? It's like, I'm interested, but I want it for free. I'm interested, but I don't. It's like, oh, my brain is exploding. Please don't do that to me. So, watch out. Avoid bias and leading questions. Annabelle was referring to this. So, we talked about bias. What's bias? Or leading?
Don't try to lead the person who's going to answer.
Exactly. How would be a question that is leading someone towards?
Like you prefer this or that? No, I prefer this.
This other thing. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we saw it yesterday with the stakeholder interviews. Would you like the interface to be red or blue? But oh, I want it to be, I don't know, like professional. So here are the examples. How comfortable you felt in the very famous and wonderful, amazing user model. It's like, it's evident that I'm like leading you, that I'm saying positive things about my product for you to say it's also a positive experience. More like leading is, how do you feel in the user hotel? So maybe you have a bad experience, I also would like to know that. Let's continue. Double double negative. Yeah, it's like my brain is exploding again. Do you agree or disagree that this is not unnecessary to send the reports every day? It's like, go to primary school again. What are you doing? So more, like always, a shorter question, often less words is better. So do you agree or disagree about sending reports every day? So not, yeah, no double negatives. No, don't make me cry. Let's go. So, and it's very important to have a first question that is a screener. So a screener is, let's think that I'm designing the supermarket experience and that our business objective, I'm still thinking about Mad Men, yesterday's episode. So our business objective is that housewives in their 30s and 40s buy more online, yeah? So basically that's my project. Marketing and business stated that that's my audience. So my first question should be, are you a housewife in your 30s or 40s? Like, not exactly that question, but I need to validate that the user I'm targeting is the user I want to answer. Because I'm basically designing an experience for this very particular audience. And yeah, that is like, I calls it a shot to the leg. Like in a survey, you should always be aiming for the heart. Like you don't waste your questions, but a screener is not a waste. A screener would save you a lot of time because you don't want to be designing for a user that is 17 years old, especially not if you're designing an experience for another audience. Well, there's a lot of design. And I'm super happy that Typeform is here, and that Google Forms is here, and SurveyMonkey is here, because you need to create, so the survey design is design itself. And so for example, oh, this is why I clicked this whiteboard, because I want to turn it in the other way. So, okay, this is my options. Yeah? So my question was over here. Select the reasons why you go to the park in the weekends. So these are multiple choice. Where, in which part would you put the checkboxes? So these are my options. Should I put it, I would like, in my right, so over here, or in my left, over here? Left, correct. So this is formatting, yeah? Is making a coherent design for your survey, so it's also usable. Users are used to this pattern, and there's a like in usability, because you have all the check boxes in the same time, it's easier to click and to check. And if you have it on the other side, it's just like, it depends on the length of the phrase, so it's like very like not a good experience at all. So this is about making sections and grouping your questions. This is about leaving also some negative space or white space for people to really like be able to see the things. And this, like, don't begin with high impact. We know we are beginning with a screener, but also it's like, I don't go to a person that I don't know and ask like, please do tell me your biggest fear. It's like, so bye. I want to hide under the rock. So first I want to build some confidence. I want to start lives. I want to also like give some information on what we're doing and why we're doing this. And after that, I can go deeper. Let's continue. I'm just going to check the clock. Okay. How to build a good survey. So I just mentioned the multiple choice. What other kinds of options can we give? If it's not multiple choice, if the user cannot select multiple, what are these babies? Do you know the name? The angels?
The lighter scale?
Yeah, it's the sleeper scale, so you can choose only one, because in Likert scale, if you would select two, then we don't have data, right? So these are called radio buttons. Radio buttons. And when they are selected, so normally they are a circle, and how do they look like when they are like selected? Another circle in the middle, yeah. So these are patterns, right? So it's good, like we don't want to place all the answers like written down because like Sharon said, people are lazy. We want to make their life easier and help them complete the survey in a good way, in a correct way. So there are some good practices like using the correct patterns, giving the other option which comes with an input field, giving the non-applicable option. Yeah, like, I don't have no idea what you're asking, like this is not the right question to ask to me, so not applicable. Sometimes they don't know, like, I don't know, I don't want to answer, is in it. Don't know, not applicable, other, yeah. Let's continue. Well, open-ended versus closed. Why do you think we want to ask, even in a survey, open-ended questions?
What's the question here?
Why would you think we would like to ask open-ended questions, even if using a survey as a method? Like what you said, input field. Like, do you have any comments? Input field.
Because you want to know the reasons, not just the answer.
Yeah. You want to like kind of know more of their whys. Yeah, deeper, explore, and learn about them, empathize. So this is very good, but it has some cons, which are people are not honest, people don't want just to write, people don't want to open up. So closed questions, like given a set of options, yes or no questions, these are like easier to use, right? For the user. They are very difficult to define. So basically, well, giving them options and leaving the option of I don't know, it's not applicable or other is the best practice. So you want to keep a good balance. I would say 2 open-ended questions maximum in a survey of 10 questions. So you keep that balance. Let's go. Yeah, and also I think Andrea was asking this before. So we are using surveys to have a very actionable set of data and indexes and, to make some decisions. So if I go away like asking too many open-ended questions and what we agreed to do is quantitative research, then I would spend a lot of resources to analyze that data. Okay, this is the Likert scale over again. It's good, like, you should see Typhon. Typhon survey design is beautiful. And I really like this kind of components they offer. The scales, and you can also, like, for example, if you're going to give options, like the checkboxes, kind of thing, the multiple options, or even exclusive options. You can upload a photograph and put a letter or a number or a title and have the people like select that. So it's basically, for example, if I'm organizing a barbecue, I'm like, are you omnivorous? Like, do you eat meat or do you not eat meat? But in general, I would put like a funny picture. So I don't know, hackers like are more like incentivized to answer and have fun. So yeah, try to really take care and design your survey. Let's go. More tips. Okay, 10 questions. What happened? Okay. Yeah, put like some kind of an intro text. Yeah, like what's the purpose of this survey? How is your data going to be used? How much time do I need to complete it? It will just be 2 minutes. Etc. Be quick, yeah. Offer incentives. Well, what e-commerce are doing are they are offering some kind of discount in your next purchase. I did one for Happy Socks just to have a free pair of socks. By a target audience, this is very important. Like, for the purposes of this course, we are going to go like crazy, like giving service to everybody. But if you're designing a very specific product, like something about finance or people invest, like normal people investing in the stock market, well, you want to target those kind of people. It's not like everybody can answer. Yeah, let's go. Oh, this is a great thing. I do this when I write the materials. Read your questions aloud, and I want you to even like, between you, like really test them to learn if they are making sense. Because it's very easy to get lost in the pixels, and it's the beam. It's the beam, yes, no problem. But well, it's rendered, yes. So, best practice for whenever you're writing, like microcopy, essays, a Medium article, just read it out loud, because copy pasting and editing in the virtual is a trap. Keep it short and simple. Okay, we said that. Ask direct questions. So this is more or less about non-double barrel, non-double negatives. It's like, try to, and you'll be designing your survey not just online, like boom, done, and stuff. You'll be using an instrument, the Link Survey Canvas, actually to make better questions. You will be using post-its again to like iterate on your questions. Because you want to get to the root cause. Let's go. Ask one question at a time, of course. Speak your respondent's language. This is about empathy and mental models, and really like facilitating conversations. Oh, make semantic choices. So, for example, if you're using a Likert scale, you can as well have 1 to 5. And in general, people would understand that 1 is very bad and 5 is very good. But there is a reason why in Likert scale we'll put I strongly disagree, I disagree, I neither agree or disagree. I agree or I strongly agree. Because 5 is not semantic, but strongly agree actually means something. So it's like I'm answering your question. Like, how do you feel like? Do you feel the classes are good? I strongly agree. That is something a human being would talk. Instead of 5. What's 5? Yeah? Let's go. Okay. Let's go. How's this? I think I like reason matrices. It shouldn't be too complex. So the maximum the more far-fetched you want to get is a scale. I think reason matrices is when you have a lot of scales with piled one after the other. So it looks like a table. We saw an example before with the radio buttons. No, I don't think we have a lot of time. But it's basically, don't pile up a lot of information because it might be easier for you, but I think the user gets like overwhelmed. When you see all that, it's like rocket science. We don't get much out of yes or no. So you want to start using more of in which degree, how often, how likely, like the ideas, how much. Divide and conquer, make sections. Group and cluster the same kind of questions. Okay, let's go. What's this? So did we talk about that yesterday? Like test your test.
Yeah.
Make sure you ask your fellow classmates before launching it. Let's go. These are the providers that we will be using today. Oh, that's my clock. So we're going to be fast forwarding because Julia and I just have 50 minutes, but we'll make sure we will leave you with homework. So after class, you can go have lunch. For sure you will eat it. And after you finish lunch, you'll be doing your survey canvas. Okay? So you can select any of these providers to put together your online survey. And you'll be assigning a different part of the survey to each member of the group, so divide and conquer again. And you'll be using this canvas. So it looks complicated, but it's easier than you can guess from the first sight. The big numbers indicate the order, yeah? So the first thing we are going, so all of the above parts of the canvas are some questions that will put you in the situation, right? That will anchor the purpose and the objective of this survey. It's not your actual survey. And all the lower parts are, so you'll see you have 10 squares. These are your 10 questions. So what you'll be doing is writing the questions in post-its and sticking them in every different box. And if a question starts seeming like it's not the perfect question, then we throw the paper and start over again. And no harm, this is why we use canvases and post-its, because it's like we are aiming for kind of the perfection. And don't be afraid of iterating on it. So first question is, what do we need to learn? So for Italy and for Maruke is nice. Maruke. Okay, so we want to impersonate the business people and the researchers of these supermarkets. And what do we need to learn about people shopping online with these brands? What do we need to learn about our customers? our existing audience. Second is, what information do we already know? So I'm sure you have some information about who buys in these places. I want you to write it down, these declaring assumptions. Then, who do we need to learn for? So, according to what we already know about the customers, you will start more or less depicting what is your target audience and what is not. So you want to define if students buy in Italy or not. If rich people living in the Villa Madalena, I don't know, like Porsche, no, what's a Porsche neighborhood? If they buy in Italy or they don't, yeah? So you want to define what's your target audience and what's not. And what would be the ways to reach them? Like, where are them? How do we get to that audience? So, easiest way to get responses for your online survey is post it in our UX survey channel and send it in your Sao Paulo current students channel, or send it to everybody here, right? In the staff. So that's the way we do it here in Ironhack, but I'm quite sure that we are not your target audience. So you have a week, and you have to hand this in and your responses by next Thursday, after Carnival. So I want to push for at least 30 very high quality responses of this very high quality survey we're going to do. So I'm sure that in 1 week, you can post this on Facebook, on Twitter, you can ask your mom for help, you can do whatever it takes. This is guerrilla. So to get at least 30 very high quality responses.
It's online.
It's online, yeah. We'll be using either Typeform, Google Forms, SurveyMonkey, or SurveyPlanet. Yeah. My favorites are either Google Forms that you can store in our Google Drive, so we keep track, or Typeform.
Os links eu coloquei lá no note já.
Juliana já viu. So you have homework, and so are you sure what needs to be done in the next hours? Okay, so Juliana and I will go to this very firm meeting. We'll be off for about 2 hours because we also like having lunch sometimes, and we'll see you at 3. Yeah. Have fun. Okay, what about the canvases then? The canvases are not printed, right? So I will ask Manu to print this